as to what preceded that reporting out. That is not what we are not, that is not an issue at this point, as you see it. All right, thank you.
Okay, any additional concerns or clarifications from board members? Okay, call for the vote. Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion passes to ratify 5-0. Okay. Let's move to item 4, approval of the minutes for October 27th, which was the planning, general plan update session and November 4th regular meeting.
So moved.
There's a motion. Do I hear a second for approval of the 2 sets of minutes? I do need a second, folks.
Second.
Thank you very much. There is a motion and a second. Discussion to the minutes or the motion? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor of the 2 sets of minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, minutes continued, and the next meeting will be the November 17th special session and November 17th afternoon workshop. Moving on to consent calendar, item 5. We have 2 regular consent calendar, or one being the regular and one being the air quality management district. To the clerk, has there been proper notice, please?
Yes, there has.
Okay, to the board, items will be pulled for separate consideration. Supervisor Dober.
Thank you. Item number 18, please, for separate consideration.
Item 18 to be pulled. Okay. Additional items from board members to be pulled for separate consideration. Hearing and seeing none. What's the action on the board's pleasure for the remainder of the consent calendars? Both.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the remainder of the consent calendar.
Okay, there's a motion to approve both consent calendars with item 18 being pulled on the regular.
Oh, wait a minute. You say both
There's a air quality management.
No, I have an issue with it. I thought we were doing a regular consent separate than air quality. I
Okay.
want to pull item 2 on the air quality management district. And with that, I would make a motion to approve the remainder.
Okay, so item 2 of the air quality is pulled. So the motion is to approve both consent calendars, the regular with item 18 and the air quality item 2. Do I hear a second to the motion? Second. There is a second from Supervisor Colfax. Discussion on the remainder of the 2 consent calendars, or to the motion.
Mr. Chairman, could we have request our air quality management district manager to come in on that air quality issue?
Okay,
Whatever. Okay.
whenever, okay. Okay, so call for the vote on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay. We are slightly past the timed item. We've got a full day today, so I ask that we try and stay on track. Let's go to item 6C, this timed item for 9 a.m. Inclusionary housing ordinance and the presentation for discussion and or possible action.
Good morning, Allison Lassie, Assistant CEO, and we're happy. So, you have before you a draft inclusionary housing ordinance, and the action that we're asking for today is final direction from the board for what will be prepared as the document that you will introduce and waive the first reading on at the December 9th board meeting. So I want to be clear that today's meeting, you're not formally adopting it, but you are essentially blessing the language that will go into the final version that will be introduced at your December 9th meeting. The inclusionary housing ordinance is one of the many tools that governments have to increase or encourage affordable housing. And it is one that, up until now, Mendocino County hasn't had. The 2004 housing element that you have charged the planning team with implementing and completing requires that the board adopt an inclusionary housing ordinance. In the process of developing this, we've checked on a variety of aspects of this inclusionary housing ordinance, and one of the things we did check on was whether or not the ordinance could be a voluntary ordinance or whether it had to have mandatory parts to it. And we have confirmed, our county council has confirmed in reviewing the language, that it needs to be an ordinance that has mandatory language in it. It cannot be a purely voluntary ordinance. So I wanted to kind of put that information up front, that we have researched that, and what you have before you is something that does have required elements. It is not a purely voluntary ordinance. However, we believe that it balances out the various concerns that come from a wide